Hello, my fellow veterans, and welcome to Veterans Advice Hub. My name is Bill Kelly, and today I'd like to talk to you about the importance of following up on your own VA disability claim. I hear from veterans all the time, both positive and negative stories about the claims process, and I try and be positive about it for two reasons. One, it's the only system that we have, so we have to find a way within that system to get the things that we want. And two, it appropriately helps thousands and thousands of veterans with compensation that they have earned through their service. Now, the decision on a claim is made by the VA, focuses on two primary things: service connection and VA disability rating schedule. The schedule is just the criteria that the VA uses for each percentage, for each individual issue that the veteran's dealing with. Now, it's important to, one, submit the claim in the first place because you've earned the right for the VA to, at the very least, just evaluate you and then make a decision. But two, it's also important to follow up on that process and don't just assume that the VA is going to bureaucratically process your claim and it's just going to go through the mill. You really should take ownership of that process by keeping track of it and following up as issues come up. And I'll share my story to help illustrate that point. I have service-connected disability rating of 20% for my left knee. It got worse over time. I went and had a total knee replacement. By definition, in the rating schedule, the minimum rating for a service-connected knee after a total knee replacement is 30%. So I put in the paperwork for an increase of 10% on that already established service-connected knee from 20 to 30, and I put in a personal statement about the impact that this has had on my life, the doctor's notes, copies of the x-rays, submitted this all together in a package, and I went through the VFW State Service Officer in Boston to submit my claim. A couple weeks later, I checked back on e-benefits, and my claim was in there. I got a letter from the VA saying, we have your claim. And in the package, there's a form that basically releases your doctor's office to submit and give your medical records to the VA when they ask. Now, I set myself up for success. I called my doctor's office, explained that the VA would be requesting it. If there was any fee associated with that, by the way, the VA will not pay the fee. So I said to the doctor's office, their admin staff, if it comes in and there is a fee, I'll pay for it and just give them the information. Happy to find out my doctor doesn't charge if it's a VA request, so it goes in for free anyway. But that's a thing that can get you tripped up. So I don't know how much it would cost, but I said I would pay it if it came to that. Time goes by, still evidence collection through e-benefits. That's where they're stuck. I get a letter just recently from the VA saying, hey, we've reached out to your doctor and we've requested the medical records. Okay, so I call the doctor's office and I say, hey, the VA requested this, did that go through? And they said, oh yeah, we submitted that to them months ago. So the VA had requested the information very early in the process, but it just got stuck and sat there in evidence gathering. So I bit the bullet and I called the 800 number. And yes, you got to work through the phone tree and you got to pay attention and you got to answer the questions. And yes, you have to answer the questions more than once, even though that's annoying. Eventually, you'll get to a person. And I got a very nice lady who said, how can I help you? I explained my situation. She verified some information again, pulled my information up, went through the file with me, put me on hold, checked on a few things, and said, oh yeah, we have the information, we have this stuff in the file. I flagged it for the evidence collection people and submitted a note to them that this evidence is in your file. You should see a change in the status on e-benefits in the next couple days. So I'm waiting to see whether the status has changed, but my point of this whole video is that you have to own the process. You are going to have to engage with the VA as part of getting that claim finalized. So I helped move the process along, and I firmly believe if I had done nothing, it would have just sat there for months and months and months. So engage in the process. Don't be afraid to engage with the VA. I've called the 800 number several times now, and every time I've actually had a positive experience because I talked to a real person at the other end that seemed to care about solving my problem. Even if they couldn't give me the answer I wanted to, they at least looked into it and explained the situation to me. So that's my video for today. I hope you find it helpful. And again, thank you for your service.